Recording. Okay, so just real quickly, like I said, I had shared this agenda with you, and just some of the purposes for book club is to make meaning from the text and to share with each other because the way that Jeremy reads a book and makes meaning is different than the way Kaylee does and the way that I do. So when we all come to one place together, we can all share our different ideas and learn a little bit more. So it's kind of cool. Our goals for book club are to communicate with each other, to collaborate. Sorry, somebody just joined us. What was that? Looks like Christian just joined us. Hello, Christian. So maybe he just said hello.
Hi. It's the brown.
Hi. Another goal is to make sure that we collaborate with each other. And so part of this number one and number two kind of go together. When somebody is presenting their work, you're being a good listener and you're ready to comment on it or to ask them questions. Um, Communication is key when it comes to a virtual classroom like we have. And then, of course, critical thinking questions. A lot of times, whoever has the discussion director job comes up with a lot of those critical thinking type of questions, but I also present some of those for you. And then creativity. The way that we choose to do our jobs is unique to all of us. So that's where your own creativity comes in. All right, so I will take us to our site. And I just wanted to go over just a couple things with you before we jump into sharing. Just a little reminder that if you forgot where the book club jobs are, they're listed right here. And today, if you're not sharing your screen, I will pull up each job so that you can kind of read along and see what it is that that person is presenting as they present. Okay, choice. Choice just simply meant that you have different ways that you can present your work. A lot of people choose to just write it down, and that's fine. But a little bit, I mean, I have to give you other options too, if you want to tap into that creativity a little bit more. These are some resources for you to explore. Okay, this leads me to the discussion direct questions. And the discussion questions, um, here's yours. The Watsons go to Birmingham. There are only three. I have not added to those. So if you have not had a chance to do these first three discussion questions, maybe it's only two for you guys. Okay, so you guys are off the hook. Your class only has two. If you have not had a chance to do those, please do so before we meet again, which is not until February 7th. Um, and just know that this is a little bit, of a writing grade for you as well. But you have plenty of time because we're not going to be meeting next Monday, but we're going to meet next Thursday instead. Okay, so that's a little bit more. I'll take you to this page. And your assessments. At the very beginning of book club, I went over this page and it was blank. But I've had the time now to kind of fill it out. And you don't really need to know what these words interim and formative mean. I'll just kind of put it into kid terms for you. All it means is that you are informally graded every time you come to book club. So if you come to book club and I have not heard from you otherwise, then you should come prepared with the job that you're going to present. Um, Summative means at the very end. At the very end of our book club, you will have kind of like a final overall test, but you don't need to worry about that yet. Okay, and I just got a couple private messages, it looks like. So, if you're not feeling good, that's fine. Just, you've already shared your work with me, and that's fantastic. I have a couple other people who are sick today, and they emailed me their work. So that's great. When somebody is sick, they took it upon themselves to make sure that I still had their work so I could share it with the class, and that's cool. Okay. So we have the Watsons go to Birmingham, and notice today is the January 28th day. So we had a couple of different people who were summarizers. We had Kaylee P. Nope, only one summarizer today. And Christian, is Kaylee there?
No.
No. And is she sick or did she share her summary with me in my email or no? Doesn't look like it.
Or she just couldn't come yet.
She just couldn't come yet. So we will come back to her as soon as she's able to join us. We'll come back to her job. I always kind of like to start with the summarizer because it, kind of reminds people of what they read, but it's not mandatory that we start there. So, do I have any volunteers of somebody who would like to go next? I can make it really easy on you guys, and I'll share somebody who is sick, and she was the illustrator. So I'll go ahead and share her illustration, and maybe this will kind of get you thinking and get you warmed up a little bit. Sorry, it takes just a second to pull up. There we go. And neither her nor I could quite figure out how to get it to turn. So you just kind of have to tilt your head a little bit. So Jordan drew the brown bomber. Now, this is where you guys get to come in because she's not here with us. She told me why she chose to draw the brown bomber. But what do you guys think? Why would Jordan choose to draw the brown bomber? And you could type into the chat or just speak up because all of your microphones are on. Why would that be an important thing for her to draw? Okay, well, I'll start you thinking a little bit. The brown bomber is a very important symbol in this book. They talk about it quite a bit. It's the family car, and they even nicknamed it. So, why did they nickname it the brown bomber? Anybody remember why they nicknamed it that? Looks like some people are typing into the chat, so I'll wait for your responses. Right, that's the car that they take down to Alabama, definitely. Um, and yes, it is a brown car. Very good, Ashley. Why did they call it the bomber? Did it make a lot of noise? Like what was wrong with it? I don't think it was a very nice car. I think it was just kind of like all they could afford. I see a couple people typing, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, it was noisy. Good, Ashley. She's typing into it. Yeah, it was. It was noisy, made a lot of noise. It was brown. And it is the way that they got down to Alabama. They had to drive all the way from Michigan. Okay, so that was great. We were able to share Jordan's illustration. Tyler is not with us this morning, but I have some questions, and Corbin also has some questions that I'm going to share. So I'll start with Corbin's questions, and then we can jump into mine. Okay. Just a second to scroll down to your book. Here we go. Okay, so this first question is, why is Byron so mean to Kenny? What do you guys think? Why is he so mean to him? So I hear some people typing. It's good. That's a pretty good guess, Ashley. Okay. Yes, because he wants to be cool. Good. I'm getting some answers in the chat. To be cool and he thinks that people like, or well, that people, I should say peers, those are people his own age, will respect him more if he's mean. Which really isn't true, but when you're trying to kind of show off, that's oftentimes, sometimes how people do that. All right. Second question. This is a little bit deeper, actually. I like this question. Um, why does Byron always feel like he has to do bad things? So you could type it into the chat or you can raise your hand if your webcam is on. But why does Byron always feel like he has to do bad things? Yes, good. I'm getting some great answers in the chat. Um, again, so he is respected by his peers. And good, Christian. He is considered a god at his school, so he thinks that he has a lot to live up to. He thinks that he has to act that way in order to keep his reputation. So that's great. All right, you guys are doing great so far. All right, my next question. This is a really easy question. This is more of a summarizing type of question. Who is this person, Joetta? Just a little refresh your memory type of question. Who is she? So I'm waiting for some answers in the chat. Do you remember who Joetta is? So she's Kenny's sister? Yeah, Kenny's little sister. Does anybody want to tell me maybe another detail about her and maybe why she's important? Or is she important? Is she important at all? Oh, good. Okay, so I'm gonna cut and paste your answer here, Kaylee, because it was fantastic. Okay, and there, oops. So Joetta is a little girl who goes to Sunday school and is very polite. She hates it when her brother Byron gets in trouble. So here is one person, unlike the people at school, who does not appreciate the way that he acts. Good. Okay, so here's another summarizing type of question. Who would like to describe Byron's Nazi parachutes attack America and get shot down over the Flint River? What was that? So Byron came up with something called Nazi parachutes attack America and get shot down over the Flint River. What exactly was that? Anybody remember that part? If you don't, I'm going to highlight it so that it's something that you go back to in the story and you try to find it. Okay, so if we have some time at the end of class, we're going to go back and try to find this particular section. But we will move on so that we don't take all day. Oh, okay, I actually am getting some answers. It's a movie that he made and he lit parachutes on fire over the toilet. So that was, oh wow, all three of your answers came in at like one time. That was kind of weird. Okay, so I'm going to cut and paste. Perfect. He was playing with, okay, all right. So it was a movie that he made. Probably not his best work. Okay. How does Joetta stop her mother from burning Byron with a match? What does she do to stop her mother? Good. Yep, she blows out the matches. And why does she do that? She blows up the matches and she stands in front of her. Good. Why would she do that for her brother? Yeah, she doesn't want him to get burned. Do you think she maybe felt a little sorry for him? Yeah, that's good. And feels sorry for him. Good. All right. Perfect. I'm getting a lot of good answers into the chat. All right, so the next couple questions we will talk about in a minute. We're going to kind of switch back so that we don't do all of them at once. Let's see. Let's see, Jack is really sick today. That was his brother in the last book club who was also really sick. Jeremy, are you with us, Jeremy? Jeremy. Jeremy was our quotable quoter.
Yes, I am. God, sorry.
Cool. Are you there?
Yes, my word was acting up on me.
That's all right. So,
No.
Jeremy, how would you like to share your work?
I'd be happy to.
Okay, well, great.
I have it on paper though.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So should I start now?
Sure.
Okay. Hold on.
That's fine. So Jeremy's job was to pick two parts of the book that he's going to share with us, and he's going to tell us why he picked those parts. And then it's also really helpful when you do this job to tell us what page to find it on, and then everybody can turn to it if you have your book with you.
Okay, so was it 2 parts? The 2 parts I picked were on page 54 and 75.
Okay. So if you have your book, why don't we start with the one on page 54?
66, 54, perfect. And it was the word is give my regards to Clark Poindexter. I thought it was funny, and how should I say why?
Yeah.
It was just weird to me. It's very funny.
Okay, so what was going on when he said that? Like, give my regards to Poindexter.
I'm kind of nervous.
That's okay. Do you remember what was happening in the story when that part came up?
No, I can't. Sorry.
That's all right. Let's go to your next part. Page 74, you said?
No! 75, sorry.
75, okay.
I lost my page. Oh no. Oh, so what is it? Where is that word? Where is it? No,
Take your
yes.
time.
Got it.
Okay.
It's like to tie himself to a tree and said ready aim fire. It's really funny too. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that was a strange part. So, yeah, Jeremy, you found two funny parts, and that's cool. Next time when whoever's the quotable quoter for this next section, try to find like two different types of parts. So maybe you find one funny part, and then the other part that you find is maybe interesting or a really good piece of writing. But this book, I agree with you, Jeremy. This book has a lot of funny parts because the language is written a little bit different. Um, it's from, the 1960s, so that's one thing that makes it a little bit different. And then where they live, up in Flint, Michigan, um, in their community, they kind of speak differently. So it does make for some funny parts, definitely. So that was good. Good job. All right, Kaylee, would you like to share your job with us? And I don't remember what your job was, so could you tell me and I'll bring it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was the group connector. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
But I have it on my computer, so I can't show my screen.
Oh, I'll,
And I'm
I'll,
on my brother's computer. So I'll just read
oh,
it from my computer.
okay, that's fine.
Okay. Um, my older brother Trevor used to play with fire, like Byron.
Okay, so what kind of connection is that, Kaylee?
Um, I don't know.
Well, it's a text to self, right? Because it's something that reminds you of your own life. So you have a brother that reminds you of a character in the book. So that's your own life that you're reminded of. Good.
um, Byron threw cookies at a bird, and my brother Tyler would have most likely done the same.
I could definitely see Tyler doing that as well. And so that is another text to self connection. So let's just review the types of connections that you can make. Kaylee gave us two really good examples of text to self. And so, what that means is a part of the book reminded her of her own life. But there's two other types of connections. Does anybody remember what the other types of connections are? One is called text to text, and that means a part of the book reminds you of another book. So that's text to text or text to world. And that means part of the book that you're reading reminds you of something going on in the world. So, all right, you did a great job. Anybody else have any connections? Because a lot of times this is just a really natural thing for people to do, whether it's your job or not, is to make a connection while you read. Anybody else have one? And it's okay if you don't. Just try to remember as you're reading, even if this is not the job that you've been assigned to do, a lot of times, especially text to self connections, things that remind you of your own life, come really easily. So it's kind of fun when we can all share something in the book that reminds you of your life. All righty, Christian. Let's see. And Corbin had a connection, and his brothers like to play with fire too. So that's great. See, there you go. It's not so hard. Okay, let's just look at our schedule, make sure I have everybody. So we got Corbin. He had some great discussion questions. Christian, you were our illustrator. Do you have an illustration you'd like to share with us?
Uh-huh.
Okay, do you want me to make you the presenter?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to make Christian the presenter. So you're going to see his screen in just a second.
Can
Wow.
everybody see my screen?
Yes, that's great.
Okay, this is a picture of the brown bomber. I chose it because it's a big part of the story. Because
It
they were
definitely,
really
yeah.
down in Alabama with it.
That's fantastic. That's a really good description. Oh my goodness. How did you find this picture?
On the internet.
Oh, you found it on the internet. Okay, I was gonna say, because that's like perfect. Good work. And yes, and you already answered my question. I always ask people just to tell me why they chose that illustration. And this was a really key detail of the book. The going down to Alabama in the brown bomber. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like everybody else who has had their book has been able to share. Christian, is Ashley with us yet? I'm not Ashley. Is Kaylee with us yet?
She's almost done.
She's almost done with her summary. Okay, so we will come back to Kaylee in just a minute. Let's do a few more of my questions. So I need to make me the presenter again. Sorry, it takes a second to change presenters. Ah! Really, what I need to find, I'm not finding right now. Give me just a second, sorry. Where's my GoToMeeting control panel? There it is. Okay, sorry. Okay, now we should be able to see my screen again. Okay, so while Kaylee is finishing up her summary, let's go down to number 4 together. So looks like most people are comfortable typing into the chat today, and that's fine. So my next question for you is, why was Kenny so surprised when he came across a popsicle stick in the alley? Let's go ahead and type. Why would he be so surprised? Okay, so I see a couple people typing. Do you remember this part when he came across the popsicle stick? Okay. Christian told us it's because he's mean to everybody, but he gives a a stupid bird a funeral. Okay, so all right. Maybe we don't have to use the word stupid, but here, let me. Looks like I pasted it in the wrong place. There we go. Because he is mean to everyone, but he gives a, how about we say sweet bird, a funeral. That shows that he has a soft side. And isn't so tough like he acts. Okay? All right. Next question for you is, explain what butter or conch is and how it fits into the story. So start with that first part of the question, and this is a good strategy to remember in the future. If it's a two-part question like this, answer the first part. We'll talk about that and then come back to the second part. Go ahead, Jeremy. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. Sorry. We can hear you now, Jeremy. Were you raising your hand?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I was
Go ahead and
cleaning
type
the
into
camera.
the chat. Conch, butter or conch. So this is part of that kind of different vocabulary again that the story uses. That's okay, Kaylee. It's fine to say that you don't know. It's just a part that you can kind of flip back to when we're done and you can try to find it. It's all right if you don't remember everything. I don't think it has anything to do with the car. So I'm going to highlight this question, and this is a question that when we're done, you can spend, I mean, you don't have to spend all day, but spend a minute and go back and try to find that. Maybe this number 6 will help you remember. What might have happened if Byron had run away before his dad came home and saw his conch? So what might have happened? Oh, Christian just typed into the chat. It has to do with his hair. With his hair. Good. And so is it a hairstyle maybe? So Corbin told us that he will get in trouble. So, okay, whoops, sorry. He would have gotten in trouble if his dad saw it. So he saved himself from getting in trouble. Good. All right. And how do you think Byron felt about being sent to live in Alabama for the summer? So, our last question. That's right, Kaylee, it is a bunch of chemicals. How do you think he felt about being sent away to Alabama? Okay, so I got one answer that he felt bad. Why did he feel bad? Okay, he felt bad because he would be away from his friends. Good, that was one big reason that he was not too happy that he had to leave. Definitely. I think all of us can probably relate to that. And so that's another connection. Um, that, like if you're being forced to do something that you would have to leave where you're comfortable or leave your friends, a lot of times you're going to be upset about it. And he had to use a weird toilet. That's right, Kaylee, he did. All right. And his family wanted to send him away for the summer, and there was a reason why. Have we got to the reason why yet? Like what mom hopes that they'll learn from Alabama or in Alabama? That's something to pay attention to as you keep reading. What will they learn? They learn from being, oops, sent to Alabama. She doesn't, just do it because she's feeling like being mean or something. There's a reason. So, okay. So we've gone through all of the jobs. I just want you guys to be aware that you have the next chapters are 9 through 11. And then going back to our schedule, just to point this out one more time, we will not meet next Monday. Next Monday is February 4th, but we will meet on February 7th in the morning instead. Okay, so you have a lot of time, guys, to do the reading, to do your book club job, and if you have not done your discussion questions yet, to get those done as well. Remember, your discussion questions are part of your writing grade. And let's just say that you've done the first question, but not the second one. See how it has that little red star? That means you have to type something in there or it won't let you submit it. So you could just say, I have already done this one. And then on your second question is where you would, actually type your answer. There's no book club next week because I'm going to give people a little bit more time to catch up, number one, to do a really good job with the jobs that they've been assigned. And then we have all of these weird holidays that fell on Mondays in January and February. So we are going to cancel math instead of book club next week. But it's okay because we're going to do a lot with math this Thursday. And then I promise that following Thursday, we will do a lot with math again. It's just like if you don't give math a little bit of time to catch up, then you don't have a whole lot of topics to cover. And we just need a little bit of time to cover those or to catch up with those topics. So, okay, are there any other questions for today before I let you go? Go ahead, Kaylee.
More math quizzes are not fixed. They have the question marks in the topic 4.
I know. I have no idea what is going on with this semester, but I saw that email and I sent it to the lady who fixes them. So hopefully they're going to be getting them done quickly. I'm so sorry about that. It's nothing that I have permission to go in and fix. Not that I would know how to fix those anyway, but but I do send them on as soon as I get the email that something's wrong with it. So I'm so sorry.
And when do you think the math quizzes from topic 3 will be done?
They should be
Being
done.
fixed.
I would be checking like today because I sent those in to be fixed last week.
Okay.
So just keep checking, and if something comes up and they're not fixed and you need more time, let me know and I won't count you absent. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys did great today. Pat yourselves on the back and have a fantastic Monday. Bye.